Okay, let's just quickly. Oh yes, we've just gone live. We just gone live. So we got a coffee, yo-ho. Let's have a look. Okay guys, we're gonna just, hi Stacey, I'm just gonna very quickly tell everyone we're live. I only got half an hour. My lovely beautiful son is running around screaming. So yeah, we'll be interested to see if he allows us to do this live. I'm quickly, as fast as I can, letting everyone know we're live. So let's tell Carol. So how we going, Stacey? You okay? We're going to do a bit of a Joe Espisito thing. It's a bit unrehearsed. So where are we? Daughter and grandkids here, just popping in. All right. Well, hope you, Linda, you enjoy it. You enjoy it. Say hello to your daughter and grandkids from Louis. Hi, daughter and grandkids. Is that Gioria? Right. So who have we forgot to tell? We need to tell Carol and we need to tell Salvatore. So Carolyn, live. So what I do, I email Carolyn. Then I email, oh that's good Stacey. Thank you for your lovely, positive, helpful comments, Stacey. Then we're going to do Salvatore. I've had one of those days today where I've been really busy. So I've been trying to squeeze in a live here and there. Just every now and then I'm like, right, quick. Hi, Amy. Did you see my my Hidden Minds review of his song? Thought it was quite a good review. Quite enjoyed it. I'm just quickly letting people know we're live. I've got half an hour. I've got to take my son to football. But I haven't told everyone we're live yet. Shh. Okay. So who we got on then? Let's give people a chance. Chicky Blue, how we going? Haven't seen you for a while, for a few days. Let's just have a look. So we told Deborah. Okay, so what we're gonna, my intention is to learn something about Joe Espisito. Do any of you guys want to talk to me about Joe Espisito? What we're going to do, we're just going to quickly scout around YouTube and just literally to see what we come across. The Larry King interview is the first one I've come across. It's a shortened version of it. So we're going to do that. He's one of the people I don't know almost anything about. Obviously I've heard about there's a few problems with the racquetball stuff, and I know that, you know, the friendship with Priscilla, the friendship with Colonel Tom Parker, but generally I would say he is one of the good ones. Yeah? Okay. Okay, I would say generally he is one of the good ones. Yeah? So does anyone want to comment about Joe Espisito? Obviously we spoke to Cindy, she's lovely. Cindy, Joe's daughter, gave us a call. We had obviously the situation with the pretend the guy faking to be Joe Espisito's kid. So, you know, say no more, you know, obviously that caused a few problems for me. But he actually still does message me sometimes. That's a long story, innit, guys? Because that sort of caused a lot of concern. That whole situation with Joe Espisito calling our line wasn't straightforward, was it, guys? We've had a bit of a knock-on effect because of that. Right, see how many people I got a message? There's so many people. I got a message, right. Okay, we're nearly done. Nearly done. Let's not forget Karen. Karen and Jane. Right, and Jane, Emily. I think that's everyone. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to dive straight into it. I'm going to just press play on the Larry King interview and just hope that it works, of course. I've got me a nice coffee and go from there. Okay, I think that's everyone. Right, now, just so you know, I watched this probably about a year ago. So let's quickly, I'll just put some water in my coffee because I'm going to be half an hour. And then we're done, we're done, we're done. We're done, we're done, we're done. We're done, we're done. Okay. So we've had an interesting morning, guys, and me simply trying to express as a fake called an entire... Yes, I'm going to have to agree with that, Amy. Shitstorm is a great word for defending Elvis Presley. So, and here to receive the honour of Oscar, the most dramatic YouTube channel in the world, Louis McCready's and defending Elvis at Team Elvis, the Shitstorm. Team Elvis, the Shitstorm. Right, oh yeah, so guys, her story project, Amy, you'd be interested in this. Her story project has an amazing Instagram channel, YouTube channel, and she wants to let us know about her, let me just read her message. So, let me get you up. So her story does have a really good, she's a massive defender of Lisa Marie Presley, and Amy, you'll like this, she specialises in Lisa Marie Presley, and she just messaged me. She's a friend to our channel, and she said, can you, it says, I wanted to ask you if you want to join our Lisa Marie Presley Discord server. We will post, there's a lot of information and articles about Lisa Marie and her YouTube channel. If you don't mind, her story project. So can you read that? I'm not sure if it's going to show that. It's called, no, it's not going to focus, but it's called Her Story Project. She's on Instagram and YouTube, and obviously, yeah. So guys, if Her Story Project can just let people know about it. I was gone for 2 weeks from social. Yeah, up to drama because I tried catching up. Yeah, we've definitely had some drama, so it doesn't matter. All is good. We've got an award. Team Elvis have an award, so all is good. Thank you, YouTube, for the most dramatic channel on YouTube, defending Elvis and Team Elvis. Thanks. We hold this with pride. I'm going to put it where you can see it, hopefully. But there we are. Well, yeah, maybe not. So if you want to, Amy, if you want to hook up, she does have fantastic information about Lisa Marie Presley. She really does have a brilliant Lisa Marie Presley Instagram page, YouTube page, and now obviously the Lisa Marie Discord server, and she sent me the link on it as well. Let's just see if anything comes up. I accept the invite. So I've just accepted your invite. Accept. Okay, I'm on it. Shall I say something? I'm not very good at using this stuff, but thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. Simply words, we have a server Discord. My friends, we wanted to have a place to talk about Lisa Marie Presley. I can't think of a better thing to do. We obviously adore and miss Lisa. Your information on Lisa Marie and your YouTubes with Lisa Marie, your videos are excellent. Excellent. Amy, you're going to love them. But just so you know, Amy is one of our researchers, and she really does know her Lisa Marie Presley information. Even she met Lisa Marie Presley many times. So, okay guys, we are doing Joe Espisito today. So let's just quickly press play and we'll go from there, okay?
About Elvis, intimate stories about an American legend. From somebody who saw it all, the addictions, the divorce, the diets that didn't work. Our exclusive guest, Elvis's army buddy, best man at his wedding, Paul Vera at his funeral, Joe Espisito, the King's closest friend, who was at Graceland when he died.
You know, we are reviewing this. It's only 7.5 minutes long, and we're just going to jump around YouTube and see what we can find. We've only got half an hour.
All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me.
We have a very special show in store for you tonight. Joe Espisito is our special guest, Diamond Joe as they call him, Elvis Presley's best friend. The month is now August. On August 16th, Elvis Presley will have been dead 25 years. It's hard to believe that, but true. 25 years on August 16th. Joe was a confidant, closest friend with him when he died. And the new DVD is Elvis, His Best Friend Remembers from Universal. We will also be showing you other footage during the show tonight. That footage was from the 25th anniversary box set, Elvis, the Definitive Collection. That's courtesy of Passport International. And we also want to give special thanks to Paramount Home Entertainment. A lot of the movies you'll see tonight are available on DVD and VHS. How'd you meet Elvis?
Hi, Larry. I was in the Army with him. I originally was from Chicago. Got drafted the same time he did. He followed me to Fort Hood, Texas. I went to Germany. He followed me to Germany.
So just making sure, guys, that you can hear this okay, the video okay. I know that my voice is a little bit quieter because of this camera's, the microphone on is a bit naff. But if you know any information that we need to know about Joe, please put it in the comments.
And you actually met where?
I met him in Germany.
So you didn't meet him at Fort Hood?
No, saw him around, never met him though.
Did basic training there?
Yeah, basic training.
And he was the most famous soldier in the Army, right?
Absolutely.
So how did you meet in Germany?
Well, what happened, one of the base photographers, the Army was told to take a lot of pictures of him to promote the Army. Well, he was a friend of mine, and one weekend he said, listen, Joe, we play touch football on the weekend with Elvis and the guys. We need some more players who want to play. And that's how it all started. I went to his house. He took me over there. Walked up to Elvis. Elvis walked up to me and introduced himself to me.
Hit it off right away?
It was just a click. It was just something I liked about him, and apparently he liked about me too.
And you, during his show business career coming back, you spent time with him. Were you involved in his career?
Well, what happened, before we left the service, he asked what I was going to do when I got out of the service, and I just had an office job in Chicago. He said, why don't you come to work for me? And I said, of course. Yes, absolutely. And that's how my career started with Elvis.
He would have been 67.
67, yeah, he would be 67 right now.
And is that about what you are, too?
I'm 64. I was 3 years younger than him.
Okay, in Germany, what were those touch football games like?
They were great. Right by the house he had rented off base, and it was just a regular field. It wasn't a football field, just a field, and a bunch of the guys just having touch football, having a great time.
Could he be a regular soldier? I mean, did he get up at 5 a.m.? And
he worked a lot harder than I did.
Really?
They weren't watching me. I worked in an office. He was out there in the mud like everybody else was. He worked as any other GI, and he did it on purpose because he really didn't want people to say, oh, you had an easy time in the service. He really worked harder than anybody.
As I've said to others, I've never...
I love that. I love that. See, I mean, come on. He was there, guys. He was, like, right there with him.
Never heard a bad word about him.
That's true. People that know him, have met him, will never say a bad word about him. Only people that don't know him. And that's why this DVD,
Well, actually, that's not actually true. Because, unfortunately, there's many people that did meet him that have said bad words about him, so I don't agree with that.
I did this DVD for that reason.
I want to find out what's on it, but he was a regular guy, right?
Oh, yes, very much so.
Now, what's on the DVD?
Well, you know, it's been 25 years since it's been gone. And Terry Maloney came up with this idea with me about 3 years ago. And he's the one who came up with the idea to do this video and DVD about my pictures of my personal life with Elvis. So we did it, and that's what it is. At least I can say I was there for 17 and a half years.
So on the DVD...
I mean, obviously, I'm honoured that Cindy phoned me concerning this situation, and Amy obviously helped in that process. Amy knows Cindy as well. Cindy, if you watch this, of course, we're very proud to know you, and we think your father's a great guy. Obviously, there's opinions out there that come up in the comments, but he was one of the good ones, wasn't he, guys? Charlie Hodge. Why do I call him Charlie Brown? Charlie Hodge and Joe Espisito, they're one of the better ones, aren't? Do you agree? Put it in the comments, guys.
We see things like...
Well, you see a lot of still pictures of mine that have never been seen before. We talk about him on vacation, movie locations, and behind-the-scenes stuff. And so a lot of that, I talk about my life with him. I talk about him as a person. I just try to give as much as I can about me being there all those years.
Are there any moving pictures of him?
There's some home movies, not mine. There's some other home movies in there. There's some news clips that have been seen before, and there's different couple interviews on there from some other people. And I just think the fans wanted to see this.
Obviously, and the many never seen before.
Many never seen.
Were you there when he met Priscilla?
Yes, I was.
Where
I happened to
was
be at his
that?
house.
That's a bloody good question. Were you there when he met Priscilla?
It was in Germany. He had a house.
She was what, the daughter of a...
She was the daughter of a captain in the Air Force, and they were stationed in Wiesbaden, Germany.
She
we
was
were
only
stationed.
14, right?
Yes, we didn't know it at the time. She looked 16.
She did look a little old.
Yes.
Do you know what? This is one of my biggest problems I have. As soon as they bring up the she's 14 thing, it all gets a bit twisted. But the truth is, Elvis met her towards the end of his time in 1959. I don't know the exact period. Some people say it was 2 months, 3 months. Other people say it was 6 months. They did have a friendship, and you know there is more to it. But the truth is, very very quickly, Elvis was back to do the Frank Sinatra show, to make GI Blues, to make some more albums with RCA Victor. Everyone knows about the journey back. To turn it down, please. Everyone knows about the journey back to Memphis. It's well documented, and eventually he goes home. Then he goes back. So some people say he was still seeing Anita Wood. I think he was. Obviously, we're reading her book as well. I've heard, tell me if I'm wrong, they didn't see each other again for 18 months, Priscilla and Elvis Presley. So people say, oh, they were seeing each other from 14 until the day they divorced. Tina, you got to turn that down. Until the day they divorced. But it ain't as simple as that. He briefly met her. And then eventually, quite a long time later, and there's a complicated story to that as well, sending letters, some phone calls, pressure from Priscilla, pressure from, according to Child Bride, the parents encouraging her to go and move in with Elvis. The whole story is complicated. No one really knows the truth. But Elvis did go back to America and get on with his life. He was a busy man. He was seeing Juliet Prowse, it's rumoured. So we know that Nancy Sinatra met him on the way back with a gift from Frank Sinatra, a silk shirt. So it isn't like, oh yeah, I met Priscilla at 14 and that was it. We were together till the day we split up. It wasn't like that, guys. There's much more to it.
She did. Well, you know, she's an Army brat and they learn a lot.
So what was the occasion of their meeting?
Well, this guy in the Air Force was a friend of ours, and he brought Priscilla to the house to meet Elvis because she wanted to meet Elvis. Well, she came over. He brought her in the door. We were all there, a bunch of guys and other ladies too. And she walked in the door, and this cute, beautiful little girl in this little navy dress. I'll never forget that day when she walked in. Elvis walked over to her immediately, introduced himself to her, and they just started talking. And that was the start of it.
Remember, guys, it's the 1950s, 1959. It was completely normal for rock and roll stars to chat with teenagers. Teenagers hounded the rock and roll stars. Elvis was a rock and roll star. So having friendships with teenagers was completely normal in 1959 if you were in your 20s and a rock and roll star.
When did he find out her age?
Probably that night.
Why didn't that scare him off?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the fact that Larry King is pressing the thing, her age, you know, she was 14. I don't like it.
You know, because...
He was what? He was 24?
He was, 24 at the time. But because, you know, there was nothing going on at the time. I mean, they didn't do anything. So, you know, they were friendly, just getting to know her and talk to each other. And, you know, I don't know why. It never scared them. It never frightened
How
them.
about her parents?
Well, I think that scared them a little bit, especially the father, you know, a nice man, but, you know, Air Force gentleman. So he had a lot of questions about it. But he talked to Elvis, and they got along great. And he promised his daughter, don't worry about it. She's great. I will not harm her in any way whatsoever. And he didn't.
Did you like Priscilla?
Yes, very much so.
Where was the wedding?
Again, right, did you like Priscilla? This is something that keeps getting brought up from the fans, from the Elvis fans. I'll be straight with you. The closeness that Joe had with Priscilla worries some people. Obviously, we collectively on Team Elvis, unfortunately, I don't like to admit it, but we do have a problem with Priscilla Presley. We are very upset about the way she treated Elvis, and the way she treated Lisa Marie Presley, and the way she treated Riley. She took money out of the pocket of the twins, Finley and Harper. So I'm going to admit it, guys. We got a problem with Priscilla Presley. At the hands of Priscilla Presley's boyfriend, Lisa Marie. Allegedly, I have to say it. It's all in this book. Michael Edwards admitted it. May have molested Lisa Marie at a very young age. Even younger than a teenager. So we want justice for Lisa Marie Presley, and we do try and mention it every day. I don't know if you've all heard me, but I've read the section out. I've read the section out where Michael Edwards basically molests poor Lisa Marie when she was like 11 or something, 12 or 13. So, and we will go through it again, but we do worry that Priscilla, when she had power, when she was running Gracelands, she had some of these people that she was a bit too close to. Obviously, it's in their interest to be close with her because she's the boss of Graceland. She had almighty power. So this is one of the things that the fans do mention to me. And then the other thing is obviously the racquetball situation. But I still say this. Joe Espisito was one of the good guys, always spoke very highly of Elvis. Many of Joe's interviews are very kind and very honest about Elvis.
The wedding was in Las Vegas, the Aladdin Hotel.
After the Army.
Yes, after the Army, 1967.
Did he then send for her after he came home from Germany?
Yeah, when he got back from Germany, he kept in communication with her, calling on a telephone, back and forth like that. And in about 1962, she came over to visit. He promised her dad, listen, you know, we're going to take her around Hollywood, see Hollywood, and see a place like that. And she came over, and I was there the day she showed up for that. I picked her up at the airport.
Again, you guys have got strong views about this wedding. A lot of you call it a shotgun wedding, that it was done and over with very quickly. We know about the conversation with Red West, the secret conversation that Red West recorded secretly. It's very public now. We've all listened to it many times. Elvis was so gracious and kind to Red West. So there's a lot more to everything, isn't there? This conversation that, I mean, this wedding that was railroaded through. There was a problem with Red West because is that right? He wasn't invited or something. So it's complicated. The whole wedding thing was complicated. I do think they had a reception at Gracelands. Yeah. So is this something to do with why eventually Red West got upset with Elvis? So who knows?
Took her to the house, and she was so excited. And, you know, it's the first time in Hollywood, especially with a big star like Elvis.
What was your job?
My job?
With Elvis.
I was more...
Yeah, that's it, Amy. In the conversation, Elvis says he was railroaded into it. That damn wedding, yeah, we've all heard it, guys.
In the early years, the movie years, I was his right-hand man. I did all the detail work. Made sure I used to go over the script with him during makeup and make sure
you'd read the other part to him.
Right, back and forth. And then a lot of times, you know, I made sure he got up to go to early in the morning to get to the studio, and just every little detail you could think of.
His assistant.
Right, his right hand. And then went on the road.
You did other things.
There's Billy Smith there, of course, obviously the Colonel, and Joe Espisito. Now, Joe Espisito, a ladies' man, definitely had a lot of fun with Elvis in the 60s and 70s.
Manager.
Oh, big job.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We'll be back with Diamond Joe Espisito. He's put together Elvis, his best friend remembers, from the private collection of Diamond Joe from Universal.
Love it. Right, let's see if we can find part 2. I can see part 3. I can't see part 2. Let's have a look. See if I can find part 2. If I can't, I'll put part 3 on. Oh, there's a part 4 there as well. Alright, so we're just scanning around, yeah? Oh, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Right, we'll put on part 3. Come on, guys. Up, 2, 3, 4, occupation Diablo. Here we go. Let's click on part 3, okay? Boom.
The only company he recorded for after Sun, right?
That's it. I was with them all the way.
All the way. Okay, tell me about how the drug thing began.
Oh my God. Now, I didn't know what's coming up, guys. Why does Larry King have to go for the dirt? Why? Why?
Well, you know, in this business, we all get wrapped up in certain things. We were working hard, making movies, but then but Elvis was an insomniac, first of all. He could not sleep. I mean, he had the worst problem sleeping, so he started taking sleeping pills to go to sleep. Well, you take them late.
Also, I'm told not go to sleep till very late.
Later, that's what I mean, real late.
6 in the morning, right?
Oh, yeah, a lot of times. So he had to go to sleep, so he'd get up the next day to do the show. So you start taking sleep pills, and you wake up, you feel groggy. So someone says, hey, take this, it'll keep you awake. So then you take something to keep you awake. Well, you're all doing
on
this.
amphetamines and downers and uppers.
All day. Now, eventually, you need more.
Did he go for harder stuff? Did he go cocaine?
No, never ever tried cocaine that I know of. Not in front of me, he hasn't.
Heroin?
No, never.
What are these questions? Did he take heroin? Did he take cocaine? Like, Larry, I know you passed away now, but come on, mate. Ask some nice questions, like, about his movies, his talent, his personality, who he helped. Come on, the good side of Elvis.
Marijuana, probably.
Marijuana, we did a little bit.
Marijuana as well. Is he kidding?
Yeah, we all tried that a little bit. I wish he would have stuck with just that. Got away from the other stuff.
A lot of different doctors giving him prescriptions.
That's the one thing about when you're a big star. You can get anything you want. There's no such...
So I don't really like that. This part of the interview, not liking it, guys. Going to be honest with you.
This thing is saying no to Elvis.
So he'd have a doctor in Memphis and he'd go into Vegas.
Vegas, if one doctor wouldn't give it to him, he'd get it from somebody else. Yeah.
And he was able to perform while taking drugs?
Yeah. Yeah.
And these were all prescription drugs, so
all
you never knew him
drugs.
on illegal drugs?
No, not that I know of.
What about...
That's good. That's good. At least he says, not that I know of, no illegal drugs. Thank God there's some good here.
the weight changes?
Well, weight changes. Elvis...
Oh, my God. Oh. Let's now start talking about Elvis's weight and Elvis binging on burgers. Oh, my... Larry King. Come on.
He was a junk food eater. He was one of those guys, when he got depressed, he would eat. He'd get on these kicks once in a while, eating hamburgers. So he'd eat hamburgers every night for a long time. And he was always raised on fried food and Southern food, and it was very fattening. And that was a problem. He just started gaining weight.
Did he get depressed a lot?
Do you know what? Do you know what? You know, obviously I am defensive over Elvis. I'm protective over how he's spoken about. Come on, everybody eats bloody junk food. Everybody eats Southern fried chicken and KFC and quarter-pound burgers. And if Elvis does it, then suddenly he's a binge eater. Come on. Elvis loved all foods. Elvis loved all foods, especially Southern foods, like he just says. But I don't like the way this conversation leans towards the drugs, the food. It just, you know, Priscilla's 14. It's all... This is why we defend Elvis, guys. Because many of these news programs, these big news programs, CNN, they're interested in the trash. They're interested in the crap. They believe the bullshit. And they just want to keep hearing more bullshit. This book is a fake book full of lies by Priscilla Presley. A total rewriting of history that is not correct. It's all a lie. Why do the public always... No, I mean, why do these news companies always ask the same crap questions, all focusing on things that aren't even fully true? No mention of the fact that Elvis was chronically sick, chronically unwell, had serious medical problems, in need of medication. No mention of it. How about, oh, he had a twisted colon, he had glaucoma, he had high blood pressure, he had heart problems, he had breathing problems. None of it's mentioned. It's more, oh yeah, he stuffed himself with burgers, and you know, he had a bit of a smoke on a joint, and yeah, he liked oily fried food. You know, it's just bollocks. Sorry, guys. When are we going to get an interviewer in one of these big news companies that focuses on the good stuff, brings up all the beautiful things that Elvis had within him, his Christian beliefs, how he helped the world, how he was so good to charity, and how he helped complete strangers, how he treated everyone as equals, how he wanted to just give away all his money to help people. He just wanted to help people. When are people going to get that? Instead, we get these trash interviews. This is actually quite upsetting to me, to be honest with you. I don't want to sound horrible, but I just find all of this ridiculous, that the whole interview is the negatives. We want the world to know the good side of Elvis. That's why we're called Defending Elvis. We want to let the world know the good stuff.
Yes, toward the latter couple of years of his life. You know, You know, it's one of the reasons I did put this DVD out, because I want to tell the story, because people don't realize when you're a big star, you turn 40 years old. At that time, 40 was old, and there was a picture on a magazine, I forgot it was Life or Look. It said, "Fat and 40, happy birthday, Fat and 40 Elvis." And that's a horrible thing to say about anybody. And that gets...
But look, come on, Fat and 40 Elvis. Anybody that does some decent research understands that Elvis's stomach problems, where he literally had the most severe case of constipation because he had problems with his colon, yeah? You get bloated. Then the medications that you take, the steroids and many other things, the side effects is bloating, so it makes your stomach puffy. It makes your face puffy. Elvis was very ill. He took medication to get better, to ease his discomfort, to ease his pain. Not because he wanted to get high off his face.
And little by little, what do? You know, if you get depressed, you try to take something to make you feel happy. Just like a person that drinks. They'd have a drink, or he'd take a pill.
That was before Zoloft and...
Oh, yes. Well, before, nobody was allowed to take any... I mean, there was no such thing as going to a drug clinic.
And there weren't antidepressant laws. There were no...
Right.
There's no Betty-Ford.
No Betty-Fords at all. And at that time, if you got caught doing something like that, they'd tear you apart. So...
I see it differently. I just see a very unwell man in his late 30s, was in a lot of pain and discomfort, who was probably scared of for his life, couldn't understand why so much was going wrong with his body, yeah? So desperate and in pain. Do you imagine how that feels? And at the same time, he's trying to be Elvis Presley. He's trying to do his tours. In the the Vegas years were probably the years where he got more unwell. He's trying to get some energy to do his 2-3 shows a day. He's got to make sure that everyone gets paid. There's hundreds of people on his payroll. So this man needed to be up and ready to do his job. And then he's always had serious insomnia. He wants to go to bed. He wants to sleep. He couldn't sleep. He'd had insomnia from a child. So he'd had medical problems from a child. So I just see a desperate man that turned to his doctors for help, for medication, for prescribed pills, basically. Of course you think your doctor's going to help you. Your doctor's going to give you what you need to ease your pain and discomfort, to help you sleep, to help you have energy, to help you wake up, to help you relax. So it's all very unfair, because it leans towards, oh, Elvis just wanted to get off his face and stoned. Elvis just wanted to binge all day. It's completely unfair. This is why we're called Defending Elvis.
Nowadays, it's cool.
So we generally, as a public, didn't know this.
No.
The time of his death, his personal physician, I remember Dr. George Nikopoulos, right? Was charged with overprescribing, right?
Correct.
Lost his license.
Yes, he did for a while. Yeah.
Again, you know, it's a complicated story with Dr. Nick, but this is why we do Defending Elvis Presley, because people want to know what really went on. We will be playing some Dr. Nick interviews. It's not straightforward, guys.
He did.
But it was hard to turn Elvis down, wasn't it?
Hard to turn him down, and I got to defend him to a certain point, because when he made prescriptions, we all took the same pills. We all
So
took
you were
sleeping
taking
pills.
them too?
Oh yes, oh yeah. I was hooked on sleeping pills for a long time. Took sleeping pills, and because we were all doing the same thing together. When you're with Elvis, you're with him 24 hours a day. You do everything together: vacation, travel, everything we did together. So we all got into routine too.
What were the groupies like?
Oh,
Oh my God! Can you ask another negative question? Yes, I can. Well done, Larry King. What were the groupies like? Here we go. So we've got drugs, binge eating, a 14-year-old girl, and now we're going to talk about the groupies. Larry, you're doing so well.
we had a lot of groupies that would hang up at the gate 24 hours a day and follow us when we go out to shopping. They'd follow us in the car. And, you know, that was tough. But I would call those groupies. But we had a lot of other nice, great fans that were always around and would do anything for Elvis. And
that's better.
Just
that's better. Great fans who were always around. The gate girls are very well known that they were lovely. They were very supportive for Elvis and gave Elvis a lot of happiness.
Women, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. I meet more men today to ask me about Elvis than I do women sometimes. They want to know about Elvis. It's just amazing.
Did he ever try to lick the drug problem?
Oh my God, we're back to drugs. We're back to drugs. Do you know what? I'm sorry, Larry, but you are a letdown.
Well, you know, what was amazing about him, I knew if he set his mind to do it, he could have. because there were times that he would just stop taking anything for a long time. We'd go on vacation.
That's better. There were periods of times where Elvis tried to be clean, tried to get clean. Thank you.
Yes, he could if he wanted to. But, you know, we've been...
Again, he could have if he wanted to. Better.
Pressured by a lot of people saying, why don't you guys do something? Why don't you do something? He couldn't do a damn thing. If he didn't want to do it himself, don't mean a thing.
Where did he vacation?
Hawaii. Very much so Hawaii. Aspen a couple times, but Hawaii was his favorite place. He just relaxed when he got there. In fact, his last vacation...
Yeah, Kathy just mentioned she married at 14. It was different in the 50s and the 60s. It was very different times. You can't put 1960 into 2024, 25, can you? It's completely different.
Which I talk about in the DVD about, he cleaned up his act, he was great, around the beach playing a little football. He was a little overweight, but he was doing great.
There we are. See, we've shown these pictures quite a few times. He wasn't as big as people make out. His legs were slim, his shoulders were slim, his arms were slim. It was just he had a puffy face and he had a bit of a puffy extended tummy, but the rest of him looks completely fine.
Right.
Now, his career had ebbed a little, hadn't it?
Oh, yeah. In the 60s, because he was doing all the soundtracks for all movies, so his hit records weren't doing as well. You know, the Beatle invasion, you know, this British invasion came along and knocked all the American groups out.
At the time of his death, he didn't have any songs on the chart, did he?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't checked it out.
But he was always working whenever he went.
Always.
And Vegas, the biggest act in Vegas.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody will ever beat Elvis's record.
Great stuff. Now we're getting there. Elvis, sell out every concert, sell out all through his whole career. Come on, that's more like it.
Las Vegas, as far as attendance, nowhere ever.
Or was the Hilton?
It was the International Hotel at first. Kirk Kerkorian built that. Then he ended up selling it to Baron Hilton. So it was always the same.
And Elvis in this looks great. You go on YouTube, you get a much clearer copy of this video section. Elvis is looking brilliant. I think that's 1969, yeah?
Motel from the time we played there in 1969 till he passed away. Yeah, he loved Vegas. Yeah.
Loved working too, right?
He loved to be on stage. That where he felt the happiest on stage because he got the love from the audience, and he loved to sing.
That's better.
I mean, that's what
That's better. He loved his fans. Elvis wasn't forced to work. He loved working. He loved working. He wanted to keep his fans happy. He wanted to make sure that he fulfilled his obligations as Elvis Presley. Elvis loved being Elvis Presley.
He loved to do. He'd sit in his house on hours and on by himself at the piano. He'd just play songs and sing.
Most of the people with him, the band, the backup singers, were they always with him?
Pretty
Did
much
people
the
stay
same
with
group.
him a long time?
Oh, yeah. They all, pretty much all the guys from the band and the Sweet Inspirations and J.D. Sumner, Stamps Quartet, they were all pretty well as much as they could be.
How do you handle money?
Terrible. Terrible.
Oh, no, it's the money. Now, let's bring up the money. Elvis had no money. I always say to people, Amy, do you agree with me? Amy, our researcher. Elvis had run out of money when he died because Priscilla had had it all. People wonder, why was Elvis tight on money when he died? Because of the second divorce settlement that Priscilla was not entitled to. She had to lie and accuse Elvis of many things. Fraud, hiding his assets, hiding his income. Priscilla took all of Elvis's money. So when people say, oh my God, Priscilla saved the day, she saved Graceland, it was her idea to do the Living Museum, which is not true, by the way. The reason Elvis had run out of money, Amy, tell me if it's true, was because Elvis had given it all to Priscilla Presley. The reason Elvis had run out of money, Priscilla had taken it all, and she was still deeply in debt to him when he died.
Money
Buy a lot of cars.
Buy 13 cars for somebody. He bought a ranch one time. He ended up buying 34 pickup trucks because he was a rancher now.
He tipped the guy once, a limo driver. A limo.
Oh,
He tipped him a limo.
But that's the way he was. I mean, we were in Denver, Colorado one time. We bought a few cars in Denver, and a disc jockey heard about this the next day, and he said, Elvis, if you're still out there, I'd like to have a new car, too. Elvis told him to go get him a car. We got him a new Cadillac Seville the next day.
That's Elvis.
That's the way he
And
was.
then how
I told you, Elvis loved to give his money away. He felt bad having all that money. His attitude was, what's the point of having all this money if I can't do good with it?
he paid us? They'd bill him?
Oh, yeah, they bill us. I'd write the check. I'd always have a checkbook with me. I'd write the checks out.
Yeah. And he never he never was broke, right? I mean,
Not that I know of.
he always had a source of making money.
Always had a source. That's what he always said before. And his father complained to him. He said, Dad, don't worry about it. If we need more money, I'll make more. And that was his
I love that
reason.
in Elvis.
When we come back,
If we
we'll
need
talk
more-
about the death of Elvis Presley.
If we need more money, I'll make
He was
more.
42. Apparently, it was a heart attack. He was found at his home in Memphis, not breathing.
Let's try and make this
His road
louder.
manager tried to revive him. He failed. A hospital tried to revive him. It failed. His doctor pronounced him dead at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The end at an early age of one of the two most spectacular careers in the history of American entertainment, the other being Frank Sinatra's.
We're back with Diamond Joe Espisito from the private collection of Diamond Joe. Elvis, his best friend, remembers, available in DVD. Songs you're hearing,
So guys, just checking you can hear this okay? I've just turned it up.
courtesy of RCA Records. The promotion, some of the footage tonight was from the 25th anniversary box set Elvis, the definitive collection. That's from Passport International. And we also thank Paramount Home Entertainment. A lot of the movies you're seeing tonight are available through Paramount on DVD and VHS. And of course, Elvis's Best Friend Remembers, now out in DVD. Elvis would have been 67 years old. He passed away on August 16th. Where were you that day?
I was at his house, but before I forget, this all comes on VHS
Finish.
for people that don't have DVD players.
So you have VHS?
VHS, yes, VHS too. I was there August 16th. We were getting ready to go on tour that evening. And
Was he okay during the day?
the night before, I talked to him. He was fine. I talked to him. I said, anything you need before we leave?
Where were you touring? Where were you
We were getting ready to go to Portland, Maine. We were leaving the day of the 16th at 7 o'clock at night, fly to Portland, spend the night there, and do the show the next day.
And
We
he
had
would
tour
have a
schedule.
private plane, right?
We had our own private jet called Lisa Marie. It's a big 4-engine jet that we bought.
4 engines.
Big 4-engine, yeah. He all wanted 4 engines.
So guys, I've got 10 minutes left, so thanks for all joining me. Please subscribe and like. I've quite enjoyed this, even though Larry King is a bit of a letdown. But we're trying to learn about Joe Espisito. That is the point of what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing 2 or 3 lives all about Joe Espisito. Okay, guys?
He didn't want a 2-engine plane because he said it was safer with a 4-engine plane.
He's right.
Yeah, we bought
Except
that.
not many people have private 4-engine planes.
No, true.
All right, so you're ready to go to Portland, Maine.
Right, and that afternoon I was there. I was supposed to wake him up at 4 o'clock to get ready to leave.
You're going to leave that night.
We were leaving that night, the 16th. And his girlfriend called downstairs.
This was not Linda now.
No,
this
this
was
is
a
a
new
girl
girlfriend.
named Ginger Alden. Called downstairs, asked for somebody. Elvis had fainted in the bathroom. So I ran upstairs
Right,
and went into the bathroom.
I've
And
only
I
got
saw him
5
on the
minutes
floor.
left.
And,
He had gone to the
5
bathroom.
minutes, guys.
he was in the bathroom reading a book. And that's what happened.
Was
to
he
Pete.
doing a toilet facility too?
Yes,
Or
yes.
Jasmine, you want to say hello?
He was reading.
remember the book?
It was not.
Right,
It was, I
Gio.
think, the Shroud of Turin or something like that.
Shroud of Turin,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was what he had in his hand.
About the Christ body.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because there's been stories out there about Elvis reading a porno book and all that stuff, and that's not true. Anyway, so I turned him over, and the minute I touched him, I knew he had been dead. I knew it right then and there. So I picked the phone up real quick. It was sitting right next to the bathroom. There's a phone there, and I called for an ambulance. Ambulance got there, and
See, this is sad. This is sad, guys, isn't it? It's not nice to hear.
I went into the ambulance with him. Him and my Charlie Hodge was with me, and Dr. Nick got there too. And we went to the hospital, took him to the emergency room, and we went into the
But
second
you
room.
knew he was dead.
I knew it. I was hoping possible, but I just knew there was no way.
Cold.
That was it, yeah.
What was your first reaction? He was 42 years old.
I know. It was, it didn't hit me for a while that he passed away. I just sort of blocked it out of my head. But it was tough. It was very tough, because he was...
And guys, I've seen the interview outside the hospital. I think hours after it happened. It's horrible with him and Charlie Hodge. It's so uncomfortable to watch, guys.
We were very close friends, and we spent a lot of time together. And I consider him my best friend. And so when you lose somebody like that, and all the time we spent together, our whole lives together, I thought my life had ended right there.
How did the girl react?
Ginger was all upset. And Lisa Marie was there too, visiting. Luckily, Lisa
was how old?
She was 9 years old at the
In fact,
time.
she called Linda.
Yeah, she called. That's right.
Linda
I'm
told
going to
me.
tell you. That's right. So I had to call Priscilla and tell her about it
How'd
too.
she take it?
Oh well, I mean, she went crazy when I
So
told
a
her.
lot of people talk about this, don't they, guy? What really went on with that phone call, yeah?
She dropped the phone and was all upset.
She still loved him.
Oh yes, of course. But then
She still loved him. What is that? What is that? Come on. They've been divorced 5 years. This is what upsets the fans. Come on. She was with another lover then, yeah? You tell me, who was she with that day, guys? Put it in the comments. Who was Priscilla with the day she found out her ex-husband died?
And, you know, and she got on the phone, she was worried about Lisa. She said, how's Lisa Marie doing? And I said, don't worry, Lisa Marie's fine, no problem. You know, and then I called Colonel Parker and told him.
Who made the announcement to the press?
Well, they wanted me to do it, but I wouldn't do it. I couldn't.
Why?
I just couldn't. I said, yes, I'll do it, but then emotionally I couldn't have done it. So the people,
Right, guys, I'm gonna have to go, yeah, because it's a bit too noisy, guys. So I'm gonna have to go. We're gonna have to come back and finish this off. There's too much going on in the background. I'm really sorry because this is quite a crucial moment. So we'll come back for part 2. We'll come back for part 2, okay? So I'll just play another minute and then I gotta go, okay, guys?
PR guy from the hospital made the announcement. Yes.
The appearances were that indications were that it might be a heart attack, but we don't know that for sure until after the postmortem examination.
Boy,
It was a day in my life I'll never forget.
how is it handled on the DVD?
Well, I tell it, you know, from that time right up every minute all the way through the whole thing. You know.
Even play, what, a DJ talking about him?
Yeah, there's some news clips about when they made the announcement on the television. Yeah, it's.
I went around the world in a flash.
I know.
Everyone knows where they were.
I know. You know, it's amazing though, Larry. You know, like we said earlier, from the inside you don't see it from the outside. I didn't realize the effect he had on people for those few days. I mean, the thousands of people that come to show up for this funeral from around the world. I could never expected that. No way. And the streets were lined all the way down to
White limos, right?
We got 17 white limousines. It was Elvis' favorite color for white. And his dad said, we need to get white limousines. We had to give them all around the country to get him in there.
What was his cause of death? What was the final determination?
Well, you know,
Heart attack?
his heart just stopped. That's all. It just stopped.
No pain?
No pain, nothing. It just stopped.
Drug connected?
They say drug connected. I think it was his health connection. He didn't eat good.
Fluctuation of weight?
Fluctuation of weight, an enlarged heart. He had high blood pressure. People didn't realize. And not only that, if you look at his family on his mother's side, they all died at very young ages. They were all addicted people. A couple of his cousins died from drug overdose and stuff, and his mother drank a lot. So on his
I don't like that. I don't like when they say that about Gladys. I just don't like it.
mother's side was a
3 minutes left, guys.
Was he on medication for the high blood pressure?
Oh yeah, medication for that. He was on medication because he had glaucoma in one eye.
So that's better. We're starting to hear some of the illnesses. High blood pressure, glaucoma.
For that.
He did?
Yeah. One of the eyes, yeah. He had some intestines problems.
See, look, intestine problems. See, that's better. Elvis needed his prescribed medication. He needed it.
Wow, we never knew any of this.
Nobody talks about that. That's why a lot of his medication was on. But all that medication doesn't help because, you know, Elvis figured one pill, take 2 pills, it helps better. Well, you know it doesn't work.
What did you make of all the Elvises and dead stories? That's still good going.
I mean, about still being alive. I mean, that just...
Ooh, now, come on. The still being alive Elvis is a bit of a hot topic at the moment, yeah?
drives me crazy. I mean, it's so stupid. The man's gone. He would never, ever give up his life because he had to.
Did you hear that? Anyone that thinks that Elvis is still alive, it's just so stupid. The man's gone.
Sing
It
on
wasn't
stage.
him in the
No,
funeral.
no, I know. I couldn't believe they said that wasn't him in the casket. But it hurts a lot of fans that really want to believe he's still alive. That's what that gives them hope that he's alive. I get letters all the time saying, "Please tell Elvis I know he's alive. Tell him we said hello and we love him." And that's sad. People want to make money on him. That's it.
What did you
so
do at
funny.
the funeral?
Well, I was one of the pallbearers. I got to give credit to all the guys who worked for Elvis Security and all the guys around us. We really did a great job organizing this funeral because it was a major event.
How many days after the death?
3 days. But the thing about it, we all sat together and said, listen, this is going to be Elvis's last performance. Let's make sure it's good. And we all worked hard on it, and it was amazing how it went, how smooth it went with all those people out there.
The body was displayed, right?
Yes. His dad wanted to make sure that he said, everybody come by and say goodbye to Elvis. And the thousands of fans kept walking up for hours. It was
No
almost
press was allowed in.
No press.
The
No.
Inquirer got some sort of picture.
Well,
right?
they paid one of his cousins a lot of money to take a stinky camera and take a picture of him, one of his relatives.
He looked pretty good, as I remember. They did a nice
not
job.
bad. Not bad, considering. Yeah.
Was it hard? When did it set in for you afterwards?
About 3 months later, it was like I left between tours, but there was no more tours after that. And I got very depressed for a long time, and it was tough. And I still miss him today. I really do.
We'll be right back.
And I believe that. I do believe Larry, Joe Espisito, truly loved Elvis. I really do. Honestly, I do. He was too close to Priscilla. He was too close to Colonel Tom Parker. But Larry was a good guy. Larry was a good guy. I'm not happy with everything that Joe Espisito says. I do think, you know, when they talk about the drugs and the food, I wish they brought up his medical problems much more. That Elvis was desperate, he needed help from his doctor. I wish that was brought up more. So I would say, if I'm going to be critical of Joe, I just wish he showed the side of Elvis that had lost control when it comes to his health, because he was unwell. Elvis was born unwell. Elvis became very unwell in the mid-70s. So I'd like to have seen more of that. Now with Larry King, he's a complete letdown. His interview is just typical of all the interviews that we keep seeing again and again and again. They just want to know about the trash. They just want to know about all the crap. They want to sensationalize everything. I'm just sick of it. I'm sorry, Larry, that was a shit interview.
Right back with Diamond Joe. Don't go away.
Stunned fans.
So I think that's it then, guys. So I'm hoping that when I find some more Joe Espisito interviews, I'm hoping they're a bit more uplifting, more upbeat than that, because the ones that we've played, we did part 1, part 3, part 4, with Larry King, of course. They were just a letdown. I found that whole thing disappointing. I found all of that very disappointing. I think Elvis deserves better, so I'm hoping I find Joe in some better interviews. Okay, guys, that's it. We're out of here. I don't think I'm coming back on later, but you never know. Maybe on a dog walk or something like that. Okay, guys, take care. Thanks to everyone. I've got to take my son to football. So thanks, guys. You've been great. Thanks everyone for joining me. It's been fun. We're going to do a lot more of this. We're going to do a lot more. We're getting back to the defending Elvis stuff, guys. We're getting back to normal. Okay. Thanks everyone. All the best to you. Peace out.